kind of weird when you, like, I didn't realize that unless you start live like this, then it won't allow you to go the other way. Anyway, so how you doing? Oh, you know what? Can I do picture in picture with this? I don't think I can. I think I can only go the other way. So if I do this, then it gives me. Hey, Jason, what's going on, buddy? I can barely see the Hold on, let me turn up the brightness, because this phone has some pretty cool brightness, actually. And the battery, it's new. Well, the phone is new to me. And so therefore the, hey, Joe, what's going on? Good morning, take two. Absolutely, Patrick. If at first I don't succeed, go to the beach. This is one of these mornings where I'm on the cusp of, it is a charm, thank you, John. I'm on the cusp of, I just want to be here and experience this. And then the other 50% is like, I really want to share this with everybody. But I don't necessarily want to talk. I just kind of want to go for a walk. And the other thing, just as I press the blue go live button, right? I look down and it says, yeah, so it's getting ready to start at 8:17. I said, oh, cool, that's awesome. Because it's Friday. No, it's Saturday. Good enough for you, right on. Yeah, so it's Saturday, and so therefore, every single person I know that has a YouTube channel goes live at 9 a.m., right? So, anyway. But I'm not in the mood to hold my hand up here for more than about 45 minutes anyway. But look at this, dude. That's true. It is Friday there for you. Dude, are you like, I mean, this is a postcard. So I'm on Samui, by the way, and that is Ko Phangan. And that is the one white guy that I have to share this beach with. Uh-oh, looks like I'm coming up on a family. That's gonna be a little tough. We're gonna have to get out the BB gun. All of these places here along the beach are empty. And there's it's around the corner, but it's back there. There's a resort back there. And I found out that the Novavax to get on, did you need to test? So funny, I swear most people will be using the 80s app map. Yeah, exactly. So the way it worked is that Gracie and I drove up to the pier with our ticket in our car, and the woman said, oh, you need a test. And we said, oh, shoot. And then she just pointed like across the parking lot, and then there's this, this house set up, basically. Not a house, it's an office building there at the pier. And so we go up, and it took us longer actually to pay because you got to like scan a QR code, and then I wanted to pay with K Plus, right? So I wanted to use the QR code to pay. Prompt pay is what we also refer to it over here, but in any case, I used my banking app and scanned a QR code to pay that way. Good morning. Howdy cop. So that took longer. It was and the reason it took longer, it was a total of 390 baht per person for the swab test. 300, I had to pay like $300, and then 300 baht, and then I needed to pay 90 baht. I'm unsure what each of them was, but it doesn't matter. So times two, and then they shove a Q-tip up your nose, probably 3-4 inches. I mean, it tickles, you feel it. You kind of just, or I and Gracie just kind of laughed and was like, ugh. I swear the first take your shadow looked like you were a welding. Yeah, exactly. It's a welding knife. And just so you know, the comments come up. If you guys have ever done a live stream, you know this, but on a mobile, comments come up and then the comments disappear. So it's a little frustrating if I don't get to them too fast. And of course, you might guess, yes, I'm looking at my phone, but I'm also looking at the ocean because it's awesome. I don't normally wear my hat backwards like this because I just think it looks weird, but the sun is behind me, so therefore I'm shading my neck and I'm not concerned at all about my eyes in front because I get to look at, well, this. So we did the swab thing and then sat down, and I don't think it took it 5 minutes before they had the result. And if you've ever taken one of these self-test swab thingies, right? So you put the swab nose thing up the swab up your nose, you pull it out, and then you get my bike serviced on Monday, find a test, and go, all right, awesome, cool. You know, there's like, it looks like one of those pregnancy test things, right? Pete, what's up? Thank you for your comment, by the way. Oh, hey, Dave, what's going on, man? What the hell are you doing in Pattaya, Dave? I always ask myself that when I'm there, for God's sake. You know, I mean, if there wasn't a radio station, let me tell you something. I got zero use for Pattaya in my life, and haven't really liked it down there for several years. The last time I went to Pattaya was to take the bus down there, to get off the bus, to walk down Pattaya Beach Road, and then get on the ferry to go over to Ko Samui. And then once I got to Ko Samui, life was good. But week vacation family. Ah, nice. And then so anyway, so once we had our tests done, right, they give you the little line thing there. And then we took that and we walked back over to, so when we pull up, right, you pull up to a little kiosk and you give the lady your ticket. And then you also need to fill out a website. After this video, when I get home, I'll throw the URL to the link to the website for Ko Samui. And you basically got to go for the crowds. Yeah, well, look, there's going to be a lot more people than there are right now. But, you know, don't forget, 1 million times 0 is still... it's not going to, I mean, it'll increase, but it's not going to be 2019. It's not going to be 2 years ago all over again. It's not going to be November 2019. And I can tell you right now, I got here in November 2019, and it was like, it was crowded on the weekends, like in places like Cham and stuff, but it wasn't crazy nuts. Anyway, so there's a website you need to fill out your information, where you're staying, the province that you're coming from prior to entering this one. And then, of course, the standard questions: have you been around anyone? Have you felt sick within the last 14 days? Have you quarantined? Blah, blah, blah. And then that generates QR code. You need to download that or take a screenshot or something like that, because that QR code will be provided at the ferry when you come on. And again, I have no experience on flying in and out. I actually have never flown into Samui or Phangan, of course, because there's no airport there. But I have always taken the ferry. I've always flown into Suratani to come here. And then this time, Gracie and I drove across. So when you get up to the kiosk, we said, okay, so, Papi. So when we got up to the kiosk, she's like, where's your test? And so she's like, oh, okay, we'll just like pull forward and park over here on the side. So we parked on the side and left our car there, basically in the line of cars to get on the ferry. And then walked over and got our swabs done, and then walked back and handed it to the woman, and she took the pieces of paper and she said, okay, with a big smile. Additionally, where we got our tests taken, the people that took care of us were lovely, and there was no line for that either. We took the 8 o'clock ferry coming over here on a Sunday morning. So yeah, so we've been here almost a week. The only sort of checkpoint I've ever run across was when we drove down south of Pattaya, past Rayong into Trot province, and there was a stop point. And going into Trot province, they ask you if you've been vaccinated. He doesn't. The gentleman that asks us that question didn't speak in English, and so I said, oh yeah, vaccine? He says, oh, okay. And then he let us go. So I didn't intentionally answer him falsely, but at the end of the day, we don't have the vaccine. And anyway, so that was about the extent of the official interrogation that occurred. And then we drove into Trot, and then from Trot, obviously took the ferry over to Koh Chang, which you guys remember. That was like about I'm going to say 2, maybe 3 night stay. Maybe only, no, we stayed, yeah. So it was like 3 nights, I think. And then on the 4th day, it was continuously raining, right? And it wasn't like the awesome rain that I love of Thailand, which is it rains for, it's a torrential downpour for like 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden the sun's out. like this again. That wasn't occurring down there. It was a lot more. Yeah, you don't have the vaccine either, yeah. So I wouldn't worry about that coming over here. Because at the end of the day, one could argue that that makes logical sense in the sense that, you know, it doesn't stop you from getting it. It just stops you from freaking feeling lousy or potentially dying. And so therefore, you know, it's kind of on you, right? But do you have it? That's the question. And that they were absolutely interested to know. And then when we got to the pier in Samui, if you're taking the ferry over here, they will check your QR code when you get off the boat. I thought I was being very proactive, of course, and I filled out that website the night before and then got this QR code, downloaded it, was all ready to present it, and we both had the same thing. And so then they pull us into basically secondary, in air quotes. And they're like, oh, you need to fill it out. I'm like, what are you talking about? Here's my QR code. She says, yeah, you filled it out yesterday. You need to fill it out today. I said, oh my gosh, I thought I was being, and the woman was lovely. She was, in fact, she even joked with us. She said, okay, well, where's your pieces of paper that basically say you don't have the test, or that you've had the test and you don't have COVID, right? So we hand it to her and she looks down, she goes, oh, well, these tested positive. I was like, uh-huh, your Thai humor is adorable. Now stamp me in, sweetheart. Anyway, so she was funny. And then she filled out a piece of paper. They print out a piece of paper for you. That basically has a schedule for the next 14 days. We took our temperature via our hand on one of those little temperature sensing thingies that you'll see in every 7-Eleven. And then we wrote that down, and then she checked all the boxes that basically says I don't have a fever, I don't have, you know, any symptoms, blah, blah, blah. And every day we are expected to take our temperature and then write down that temperature. And then I take a picture of both of those pieces of paper and I send it to a line account, which I assume is some degree of official line account. She had me add it via a QR code, like is common. So basically, every day at some point during the day, Gracie and I enter a 7-Eleven because they're every 100 meters here in Thailand. Actually, well, no, they exist every 100 meters. Not every 100 meters is one open. A lot of them are closed. Are you disappointed I never find crabs on the beach? Well, I mean, I've got quite an itch. So, and so anyway, so that was basically the extent of it. So every day at some point, I like take my temperature, and I assume that, or with, you know, Gracie's like right next to me, we both take our temperature, and then I write that down. Then I take a picture of that and I upload it. We're on day 7 now, and I will upload our temperature and you know, they respond with like a cute little happy line face, like a little bear, or a smiley, you know, white guy, like Ben and Cody, I think, are the 2 characters that are in line. Anyway, so it's pretty casual. I'm on the beach here, and if you hadn't noticed, I'm not wearing a mask. No one on the beach really wears masks when they're walking around. If you get up and off the beach, then it's pretty nice, right? Yeah, it's pretty awesome, Joe. And then here's a dog over here. Here's what's interesting about me walking on the beach in the mornings. The earlier I walk, the less the dogs bark. If I walk like later in the day, they seem to, or you know what, to be fair, that was my first time. So maybe now they're like, oh, that's that white guy. For some reason, he calls all of us Bubby. Like, how does he know? You know, my name's Daniel, right? One dog is probably looking at me, like licking himself going, dude, my name is Phil. Like, what is this puppy nonsense? So, let's see, I can't see the time. I'm on for 14 minutes, and I believe I went live at about 20 after, so I find it best to not encroach. If for no other reason than, you know, me and all of my friends that go live Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., we all seem to share like the same 60 people, you know, it's kind of silly. So, so if it becomes 9 a.m. or 8:50, one of you guys tell me, okay, and I'll shut this off, because I'm quite certain that Dana's living room is a lot more beautiful than this piece of garbage water hole I got going on to my right. So Samui's awesome, and I will tell you that in places like Chaweng and Lamai, it is even more closed now than it was when I was here a year ago. A year ago, I came to Samui for the first time, and I had also come to Kopangan, I think, at some point. Give a thumbs up if you can, will you? I have the brightness like all the way up, don't I? And I still can't see your... Hold on here. Whoop. Stand by. Yeah, I got the brightness all the way up, and I can only see some of them. Oh, and they just disappear. Wait, if I tap it again, do they come back? Nope. Someone's got to make a comment for me to see the next ones. In any case, so the Thais are coming here on the weekends, and that was our experience also in Cha'am. There we go. What is that? Oh, Tiger, thank you, Todd, appreciate it. Not vaxxed, will Thai authorities let me enter the country? You can absolutely enter the country, provided you have a negative test. Just statement, that's comments will be and then it disappears. But you're gonna have to quarantine. Because, and depending upon where you enter, in fact, I don't even think you can enter via Phuket unless you have the vaccine. I believe you can enter in Bangkok without the vaccine, provided you have a, domestic travel into Ko Samui, does the article. Thanks, Todd. But you're going to have to quarantine, and I believe it's either 10 days or it's somewhere between 10 and 14 days that you're going to have to quarantine in Bangkok in an ASQ type hotel thingy. Let's see. So today's October, what's today? The 14th, 15th, something like that. I believe the COE is still valid, and I still believe you have to go through all that now. And thank you for the 4 thumbs up. I just noticed. That's the other thing I like about doing live streams is it tells you the number of thumbs up. It doesn't tell you about the number of thumbs down. Which is why I have it turned off on my other YouTube videos that I do. Because I'm like, I don't care who doesn't like it. Like it doesn't. 2 weeks hard quarantine, 14 days, money, Pete said. So I will tell, I mean, look, Gracie did the quarantine in March. And yeah, it was 14 days of whatever. But, I mean, it's a hotel in Bangkok. And it's not like they will start doing the PCR that doesn't hurt as bad. So the test that Gracie and I took to get on the ferry to come over here to Samui, it's just a swab up your nose. I mean, it tickles more than hurts. I can tell you that right now. And again, the results show up in less than 5 minutes. I actually I self-tested with one of those because my chiropractor's office, someone there got COVID. And so they ordered antigen tests and sent them to all of their customers. And we were, supposed to do the test and then, do whatever we want. I did the test and then I sent them my results, which is negative. But yeah, it was 390 baht. So what's that like? I guess about $14. So did you guys see my video on the house we're staying at for 300 baht a night? Oh my God. The way I'm looking at it basically is that I have high-speed fiber internet that comes with a free house. Because it's $9.02 a night, dude. Are you kidding me? It's freaking amazing. I will say though, also, if you don't, I think I put the Airbnb link in the bottom of my video, in the description of that video that I uploaded. But additionally, if you guys are like thinking, oh, what should I do when I go to Samui? I mean, there's a million things to do in Samui, but I will encourage you to go to a little food truck called Daniel's Burgers. You can easily find Daniel's Burgers on Google Maps. Daniel's Burgers is owned by a guy named, ready, wait for it, Daniel. And he is the guy, along with his wife, that own the house that we're staying in. And he's giving us a very, very good deal. Now, to be fair, I would argue that Gracie and I are probably some of the best tenants you will ever have. Because after moving in anywhere, we both figure out projects that we're going to work on. So I figured out like how to, open the windows that weren't open and how to prop them open so that there's more fresh air. I fixed a couple of outlets already. Gracie immediately grabs a broom and she starts sweating. She's like, this isn't clean enough. So then the minute I go outdoors and I go for a walk, she starts cleaning the house, really intensely and stuff. And so we absolutely, I told her early on when we started Airbnb, I said, look, if nothing else, the goal is to leave these places cleaner or better than when we showed up. And so as you might guess, we have a 5-star rating on Airbnb. Thank you, honey. I can almost not even see my screen right now, so I apologize if I'm not getting any comments. Let me get into some shade here, and then I'll tap on it, and maybe I can, Yeah, no, hold on. Let me see if I... Okay, no, I can't. Anyway, you want to look at the beach anyway, right? Oh, dude, it's hard enough for me to... I mean, I can read Spanish. I can read Spanish. I don't know if I can understand it. So, what is this? Está fundado de la vida como un hermano, and then fades away. Hermano nomada. Fantástico. Espacialmente hasta ahora. I hope I pronounced that correct. I'm sure I pronounced it correctly. I don't know if I understood it or not. It will be no less than 10 days. Oh, okay, for the guy in Bangkok. Yeah. But anyway, so I suppose you could label our behavior right now as having to self-quarantine, in the sense that I'm driving all over the place. And I even saw my buddy earlier this morning on this beach, George, and we fist bumped, and then I haven't seen him in a while, so naturally we hug. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I mean, you're negative, right? I'm negative. I mean, I think for some reason I feel just sort of apathetic, or maybe sort of lax potentially about my condition as far as, the opportunity for me to contract COVID. For some reason, I just don't see it as a threat. And, again, maybe I could be naive. Maybe I'm just being silly, stupid, or ignorant, or something like that. But, honestly, ever since I've sort of known anything about this, I comply with what the locals are doing. In other words, if the locals all wore white t-shirts, then I'd be like, all right, well, I got to take off my awesome friggin' shirts, and I got to wear t-shirts, otherwise I look like a complete weirdo. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, if you walk on the beach, take off your mask, for God's sake, you weirdo. But if I go up onto the sidewalk and I go into a 7-Eleven, then I got to put my mask on, and if I don't, then I'm chastised publicly, and that's not something that I want to do on vacation. So, what do we got here? What was that? I saw something. What's this here? Best time to Ko Samui will be early next year. By then, more places will open, and it will still be legit. Yeah, I would argue that probably, because I would submit that there will be a rush. There will be some degree of, oh my God, we haven't been able to do this, let's go do it now. And that will probably occur starting December 1st because of the availability of alcohol, which of course normal people drink normally. I don't have the ability to drink normally, so therefore I don't drink at all. Thank God. And you guys are all real happy about that too. So is the IRS. Did I sell any Baba stock? Absolutely not. I only sell my stocks when they increase in value, dude. No, the Baba's a long-term play for me. And right now, I will tell you right now, if I had more cash, I would buy even more Baba. Because I know that everyone was freaking out years ago when Amazon went from 600 to 300. But all those people that held at 600, and all those people that were smart enough when they thought everyone else lost 50% of their worth, and it went down to 300 and bought more, that was amazing. They are quite happy right now. So, yeah, Amazon's a long-term play. I have other ones that are a little bit shorter. I'm not quite sure what to do with GoPro. I mean, obviously they're coming out with like a new model, and the last time they did that, their stock went up. But for the most part, I think I'm up like 70% on GoPro, and trust me, that does not mean I'm up 70% on my portfolio. But I will report to you that amidst the fact that I have had to spend I have to spend my money to live here, as well as things that we didn't anticipate spending money on, and things that I thought would be less expensive than they actually are. Like getting Gracie here in March, 2 weeks quarantine. That wasn't free, but that's no big deal. My insurance is more than I anticipated. I got Gracie the same, because here's the thing, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna get a 5 million baht insurance policy. I didn't budget for that, prior to COVID, right? But now I'm like, well, shit, for a while there, it seemed like basically every country was like, look, unless you have $100,000 US worth of insurance that covers COVID, you can't come in. So, you buy your insurance policies annually, right? So I was like, all right, screw it, fine. Like, what do you guys have that's like, because the exchange rate varies. What do you guys have that's like 3.5, 4 million baht policies? And they're like, well, we have a 3 million baht policy, which of course is conveniently under $100,000 US. And then the next policy available is $5 million. Okay, fine, give me the $5 million. So that's about $1,000 more a year than I, budgeted for me. But for Gracie, she's 36, right? Yes. And so therefore her insurance is like half of mine. I've spent all that money, and so here I am 2 years later after living off of basically my savings, if you will, my investments. And I have more money in my bank now than I did when I showed up here in November of 2019. So, as long as that trajectory continues, then I'm hardly desperate for cash, and I'm not willing to, get out for the fear of it going down. And I also have this bucket of cash that I absolutely have zero. I take zero. I do not pat myself on the back at all for the reason that this is in the tens of thousands, because it was coin, it was tokens basically, but coins, XYO. They were given to me when I was at a conference, and when they were given to me, they were literally $0.000015, or 1/1000th of a penny and a half, and now it's worth 3 cents. So you do the math. And that allows me to have a pretty big cushion right now. And I'm anticipating that XYO will actually follow XRP, not just because there's an X in it, but the technology behind XYO and XY, the persistent company, they're out of San Diego. I invested in them as a shareholder, as well as, have these coins and tokens. It's the ERC20 token, sorry. And doesn't have its own blockchain. And so anyway, that's my cushion should something weird really happen, and all of a sudden I'm like, crap, I need 20,000 cash to do something that I didn't anticipate. So anyway, so that's the end of the beach down there, and I actually started it by touching a rock, Joe, so you'll be happy to know. This little place up here, oh, okay, so if you saw my last video, right, I walked, and I cannot see the screen at all right now, so I apologize. This little area that I'm walking to the left of this green thing, this was the lot that had those, 3 or 4 little bungalows that were completely, empty. And that was 2 days ago when I made my video and I walked out here. And today, here we are with basically the only thing that's left is the materials that they simply haven't backhoed into that truck yet. So it will be interesting to see what this looks like a week from now. Because if you've been to Thailand, there are times when new construction gets done in days, it seems, let alone weeks. So, and it's going to be kind of a drag because, of course, this is Mike's little path to the beach for my morning walks. I have a feeling that this is going to go away. Oh, I'm thirsty. However, I'm going to go home and get something to drink. I still haven't had my coffee, and that's more of a ceremony than anything else. It's more of a Certainly it's more of a habit than an addiction. And I got up and I'm just like, I don't feel like drinking coffee right now. I feel like going to the beach. And so I went to the beach. I took you guys with me. This is what's referred to as the Ring Road. And as you can see, not a lot of traffic all of the time, which is the thing that bugs me the most about Samui, though, is the speed with which people drive on this road. I'm like, dude, if this is how you drive on this road, like now on this island, what kind of a jerk are you on the mainland? Oh, it's okay, so it's how do I get to the, I tap there we go. Let's see, live chat. All right, awesome. Patong isn't expecting many more people coming. Both malls in Patong, they're still closed. Really, that's interesting. Central Festival's here is open, but it's empty. 7-Eleven is coming, yeah, absolutely. Don't have a COE. I don't know. Are you asking me that, Roy? Gracie had to have one to come in, but I'm not sure right now. I think you guys are basically talking amongst yourselves. And anyway, with that, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to head back to the house here. And I hope you have an awesome morning. I hope you watch your favorite YouTube live streamer coming up here at 9 a.m. Thailand time. Did I participate in any moon parties? No. So the first time I went to Koh Phangan, they had already closed those down. And many of the people that live there, that are you know, residents and that sort of thing, they actually had multiple meetings about never allowing full moon parties again, because they, you know, yeah, it brings in some revenue, but they believe it trashes the beaches and gives the whole island a bad reputation. So we'll see. I have a feeling they'll probably come back, but it's going to take a while. So anyway, with that, it's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com saying I hope you're living the dream, because if you're not living the dream, you're doing it wrong, and you are not staying in a 2-story house for $9.02 a night. It is way down there. Talk to you soon. Ciao.